don't know about y'all, but I had to get the fuck out of the way. I'm over here currently in King's Landing, and there's some dude jacking off in the window, and I had to watch out. Holy shit! There was a lot of people that were saying there was no humor on this show. Whoa! Wasn't expecting that. He was literally like, oh, sorry. Mom, is that you? Like, what the? That's so crazy. All right. I'm out of breath. I just ran up the stairs. Did anybody else in the chat have to watch out? That was crazy. That was probably one of the craziest scenes I've ever seen. Not just Game of Thrones, but also anything, really. That was crazy. Remember last time we saw someone standing on the ledge of a window in King's Landing with that backdrop? Tommen, he jumped out of the window. Holy shit. Immediately. I mean, come on. Easy joke there. King's Landing. He's jacking off. His sperm's landing on the city. He's gonna be a king. And it's, Jesus. That is so fun. I know I'm not laughing now, but I literally stopped watching and was like, holy, so funny. Like, what? Oh, man. All right, so obviously that doesn't happen in the books. But what does happen is that you find out Aegon II likes watching, right? So, yeah, that was, oh, man. Still talking about that. Yes. What the hell? I wonder who wrote that. Who was like, hey, yeah, let's show Aegon the older. Oh my God, he's jacking off in the window. That is so funny. Anybody else think that's funny in the chat? Let me know. Oh man. Yes. What an episode. Yes. Oh man, I'm about to go over my notes real quick. I'm just highlighting comments that I like in the chat. Vhagar was badass. Hell yeah. I don't know how I feel about the whole burning Laena thing. She kept saying the whole time she wanted to go. She was saying that. Let me bring up the picture of her. We'll talk about that first, and I'll go through my notes. But before I do that, I'll say what's up to everybody in the chat. So yeah, she wanted to go, right? That's not what happens in the books. I don't even think I have to say that. She dies during childbirth in the books. She basically gives birth and then has enough energy to say she wants to go ride Vhagar one more time, and then she collapses on the Serpentine stairs. And then Daemon carries her back to the bed, and then ultimately she is burned. That's not what happened in the TV show. I will say, I guess it wasn't as shocking because that was one of the scenes that was released somehow online. I won't say how, but it was released somehow online. So yeah, you all let me know in the chat. What do you think of that? Is that a crazy? I mean, obviously it was crazy as shit to watch, but it's like, I thought, because I knew it was going to happen, when I saw Rhaena by the fire with the dragon egg that hadn't hatched yet, I thought, Laena tells her, look, half of the dragons don't hatch, right? I thought for sure when the scene happens where Vhagar burns Laena, that would be like a scene where maybe Rhaena would run into the fire right after her mom with the dragon egg. I don't know. I was thinking crazy. It was in the middle of, watching the episode, but I was like, maybe that will be the blood magic that hatches her dragon, Moon Dancer, right? That was crazy. All right. So shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Let me pull up the big chat on YouTube. All right. Let me make sure I have the speaker muted so I don't hear myself in the echo. I put him in the thumbnail, and I had no idea he'd be jacking off in the window. But I'm glad I did put him in the thumbnail because that was definitely my favorite scene of the episode. Holy shit, he's literally like, oh, yeah, Citizens of King's Landing. You like that? Oh, man. No, I wasn't standing on my windowsill. I was watching out. There was King's Landing everywhere. All right. Participants in the chat. Let's see. Shout out to Aaron Thacker, Andamon, Ben Parsley, Billy Bob Robertson, Breanne Johnson. What's up, girl? Chris Carr, Dawn Marie, D Strong, Dennis Sorensen. What's up, buddy? DJ KLY242, Fernand R. Frenchy. What's up? Georgie, Hyde Hollow, Hawaii. It's Toka Chanel. Jess loves Disney. John Rod. Jonathan GXXK3G92, Lagartha of Saxo, Liz Viola, ITENN13, Love Prue 1, Marjan, Kayak Cavosi, Missy Be Kind, Pebbles 83, Ryan Hill, that's me. Psych MD 19. And I think I got everybody. All right. So, yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Anybody that's watching this afterwards, please slap a like on it. If you enjoy it, probably be about an hour to an hour and a half. And then also look for my episode breakdown, which will be up as soon as I end this. I'll start working on it. So usually it's up by like around between 3 and 5. I think last Sunday I actually got it up a little bit earlier than that. Just make sure you have your notifications turned on because we're 99,000, right? So I've already reached 100,000. Silver play button right? See that? Silver play button, right? So when I beg people to subscribe, it's not for vanity reasons because I already got this shit. It's basically to help me beat the shit out of YouTube for, shadow banning my channel. I've said it like 1,000 times. But basically what that means is if you look in YouTube and you aren't signed into your account so that your watch history isn't affecting what videos show up and you look for House of the Dragon, none of my content shows up. Obviously, there's people that make way better videos than I do, but my video should show up at some point in the rankings because now they're starting to get 10,000 views, 15,000 views, 30,000 fucking views, right? 2,000 likes. That's insane for me, right? Still doesn't show up in YouTube's ranking system. So that confirms to me that there's a shadow ban active. Like there's people, 30,000 of my subscribers that watch that video, but YouTube's like, it's not good enough to put in our ranking system. So that's why I ask people to subscribe because once you hit 100,000, you get an actual person to talk to at YouTube, right? You also get like your channel verified, which is the ultimate way to like combat against the algorithm. So that's why I ask people to do that. But please, thank you for everybody watching. Anybody, that enjoys my content, that want to help a little bit extra, check out my Patreon. It's down below in the description. I've been dropping a bunch of content up there. I potentially may have some stuff coming. I announced it on Twitter earlier, so I could say it now. I'm hoping to get an interview with some of the directors and actors from the TV show. Right now, I'm in the process of trying to get an interview with Claire Kilner, who directed episodes 4 and 5 of this show. So yeah, that would be fucking amazing. But yeah, all right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna go through my notes real quick, and then we're gonna, do how we usually do this. Let me go back to full screen here. All right, my notes. Where are they? Okay, so. First thing that happens in the episode, baby Joffrey is born. You might not know this. 3 months old. That little baby was not a newborn. I know because I got 2 little babies downstairs. That little baby's about the same size as my 6-month-old daughter, but I give it about 3 months old. Just kidding. Alicent summons the dragon, right? Obviously, she immediately wants to see if the baby has silver hair. She's got a lot of balls. She talks to the king pretty funny. Like, Viserys is amiable, so it does not go against canon for Alicent to talk to him the way she does. The thing is that there's so many people around him. It's kind of like, why don't do that around the people? Do that in the King's Solar. Don't do that around the people, because if you do that around the people, it makes the king look even weaker, right? So all of this is leading into the show showing us how Viserys is very much like, come on, man. How you doing this, man? Just relax. Like he's like an easygoing type of dude. He does ultimately say, Alicent, shut the heck up, right? When he says, I'll hear no more of this. When she says, your daughter has got 3 bastard children and you're not going to say anything about it. He's basically like, he does put his foot down there. But when she's calling him out, when they're walking to where Harwin, where Lionel comes to meet about Harwin, where, Lionel's leaving and wants to put down the hand of the king. Which is very reminiscent of Ned Stark, because Ned Stark tried to do the same thing with Robert. Robert's like, no, I'll hear none of it, right? And then he refuses. The king refuses his hand retiring, right? That happens also with Ned. And everybody, a lot of people said Lionel is very much like Ned Stark, and he's like just a good dude. He's just telling what he thinks is the right advice to the king. So that was pretty cool to have that callback, right? Yeah, I don't know, Alicent. It's so crazy how much in one episode it could switch from like Emily Carey. Oh, I love this portrayal of Alicent. It's like, oh, these years have really turned her into a bitch. Jesus, like, calm down, lady. Like, oh, all right. To be fair, it is very bold what Rhaenyra is doing, right? She's basically saying like, Alicent, you, because it's very clear that Aegon, Aemon, Helena, right? They're eventually Daeron, right? They're all the king's children. Look at their hair; they look just like him, right? What Rhaenyra is doing is saying you have to fuck my dad, who's basically losing parts of himself every day, right? But I get to kind of fuck who I want. And guess what? You can't really do nothing about it. That's kind of what Rhaenyra is doing, right? So I understand why Alicent is the way she is, but I'm saying, Olivia Cook, you were doing a really good job in making me Team Black all the way. Jesus Christ. And that's salutes to the actor's performance, obviously. She's doing a really good job. You know what's nuts? I thought it would take longer than one episode for me to flip, right? Like, I thought, ooh, I want to talk about the breakdown here, but I mean the breakdown. I want to talk about the episode 7. Wow, I can't believe we're already saying that. Episode 7 promo. I don't know. Okay, so to be fair, she doesn't have anyone with her, so she kind of has to talk for herself, right? But Larry's, let's talk about that dude for a second. The bee thing, the symbolism with the bee, he obviously has a club foot, he has a cane, he has to use a cane to walk, right? But the bee symbolism, at least I think it's a bee. I thought it might have been a beetle with a diamond in its butt. And then I thought it was weird that he had a crack in the staff. And then I thought, is it a bee about to get stuck in amber? Is it a beetle getting stuck in amber, insinuating that he's laying a trap? But then you look at all of his goons who had their tongues removed. Also doesn't happen in the books. Just because that's the thing, when I'm saying this doesn't happen in the books, doesn't mean it's not good. It's actually really good. It adds way more depth to his character. The show's fucking amazing at that. I'm not just sucking their dick neither. Like, basically, Larry's in the book has a clubfoot, and at the end of Fire and Blood, right at the end of A Dance with Dragons, at the end of that part of Fire and Blood where the dragons dance, the part the show's based on, the narrator literally says, as you're reading it, right, like, we don't even know what Larry's motivations are to this day because he switched sides so many times. So this show is obviously putting a different twist on that, and that's good because you kind of like, when you're reading it, you're like, okay, like, yo, spoilers. I shouldn't even have to say that. It says book analysis in the thumbnail, but also spoilers. I'll give you a fair warning. I'm about to say something that happens at the very end, right? 3, 2, 1, right? So Aegon 2 gets poisoned by Larys. And Larys is working with his mom right now. Like literally, he puts the poison in Aegon's goblet. It's insinuating that he's the only one that could have done it, right? So this is crazy. I mean, I guess it's a B, because you hear Laenor saying as soon as Rhaenyra leaves the city, Laenor says to Rhaenyra, right? You told me as soon as you leave, Alicent would start pouring her honey in the king's ear. So then that got me thinking, oh, it's a B. But there's Lionel or Lyman Beesbury, who's like the Lord of Honey. He's got a bunch of he's basically like rich from bees. They sell honey. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of a beetle. A trap beetle. Is there a such thing as a trap beetle? Let me look that shit up. I intentionally stopped and rewatched that scene, but it didn't help because it was still just as mysterious. The thing is, the cane that he has is like in a dark. Let me see if someone's already uploaded a picture of his staff. Cane. No, I'm just getting a picture, bunch of pictures of actual clubfoot. Let me do this. Larys Clubfoot Pain. I literally just saw some crazy pictures of people with the Clubfoot. All right, so yeah, we've seen his cane a few times, but you haven't seen the beetle. You haven't seen that part of it. It looks like it. All right, so let me show you guys what I'm looking at. It looks like he intentionally has his hands over the cane, not revealing the beetle thing, so that's not helpful. What is it? There's another one. Is that the... Nope, he still has it covered up. You sneaky devil. Maybe he only reveals it when he's laying his trap. Oh, well, you can kind of see it there. What is that? I can't fucking zoom in on it. Save that as that. Do this as that. Oh, wait. What the fuck? Hang on. I'm trying to pull the image in my paint so that way I can zoom in on this son of a bitch. Can y'all see that? No, you can't. All right. Let me share it with you. All right. You should be able to see this. All right. What are you doing here, dude? What is this? That was a little bit too far. What is that? Oh, pixels. Okay, problem solved. There we go. I know exactly what it is. It's motherfucking pixels. Case closed. This guy is he's working for the pixels. He's pretty much straight up pixel guy. Nah, that sucks. That was a terrible low quality image. All right. Well, look, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to put it in my breakdown. There we go. I don't know what that is, but I do know that it's very symbolic. I still can't believe he was jacking off in the window. I might have to try that if I ever become king of a city. Probably feels very liberating. The actor will be... Yes. And his dad is the dude from Doctor Who, David Tennant. Ty Tennant? They should have cut to the citizens on the ground looking up and be like, "Ah, he's fucking doing it again." You know what though? Since he's like that and it's confirmed in the show, and he's obviously going to continue to be like that as he ages, it looks like Otto is going to probably put some like stop jacking off in the window discipline into him, right? But he definitely has bastards, and later on when some of these bastards come to court and say they're the son of, Aegon the Older or Aegon II, that might actually be the case. Oh my God. That was really hard to watch. I don't, is Larry's dead? I mean, obviously, I'm sorry. Is Lionel dead? It looked like the fire was only getting... I'm joking. But yeah, no, I knew it was going to happen, but I was wrong. I was like, okay, Daemon sets the fire, right? They allude to that in Fire and Blood. They also allude in Fire and Blood that Larys said it. My favorite one, and it was the one I hoped they would go with, was that King Viserys did it. King Viserys was like, look, I don't want you to let this rumor leak, right? That obviously didn't happen. It was Larys. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to formulate my thoughts here. I don't know what the hell. Like, how is he that? They didn't show any scenes where he doesn't like his dad or his brother. How is he that cold where he's just like, yeah, fuck those guys. You'll reward me when you see fit. What? Dude. I mean, okay, so to be fair, it would actually not make sense if Viserys was the one to do it. Even though I like that, and the main reason why I like it is because it would show that he's like, got a little bit of... Oh, excuse me, I'm drinking soda here. I got a little bit of the dragon in him. Like, he's got a little bit of the dragon in him by doing something like that, but he didn't. It actually kind of... made sense for Daemon to do it, or for it to be Larys, for there to be like more mystery to his character. I'm pretty sure they developed an entire backstory for his character that's definitely going to be revealed hopefully this season. Hopefully we get to know why he has all of his tongueless dudes. And if you're wondering why he removed their tongues before, that was so that they didn't tell his secrets, right? So he's going to allow them to be his spies. So Varys, Varys the Spider on the main series, the way that he got his information was through basically having orphan children sneak into places that adults normally couldn't fit, and they would collect information. They would also do odd jobs around the city, and they would relay all that information back to Varys, and then he would use it to broker deals with certain people. And initially, when Varys started out, he found out that like when he was a thief, thieves would basically need a place to sell their things, right? But then he discovered that information was far more valuable because obviously people don't want their secrets leaking out. So that's how Varys' backstory is in the books. That's what happened in the TV show. And then at some point, when Varys is a child, what makes him do all of this is that he is bought by a wizard, right? And the wizard supposedly, right, because they're strong. Haha, strong, get it? There's a good chance that Varys is lying about his dick being chopped off. But supposedly what happens is he gets his dick chopped off, it gets tossed into a fire, the fire turns blue, and then supposedly Varys hears the demon wizard, whatever the wizard was trying to summon speaks to him, and Varys hears that and changes his whole life, and then it puts him on this path for like seeking knowledge and information. So something has to happen with Larys. Maybe we'll find out Clubfoot was the one who hobbled his leg, and they just haven't shown that yet. And they'll either do a flashback to it. I doubt they'll do a flashback. Maybe it'll be explained later on through Laurie's through his POV, through his conversations with Alicent. Like, I actually didn't like them. Maybe it'll make him look not so cold, because that's one thing you got to do to characters like him, is add another side to him so that they're not cast in one light and taken completely one way. You got to have depth and range. Yeah, I don't know. This is crazy. I want to see what this dude's backstory is. Like, what is his motivation? What's with the bees? I mean, Lyman Beesbury dies he was the guy that was asleep, if you're wondering, in the small council. He kind of fell asleep. Lyman Beesbury's with the bees. Huh. I don't want to look in the chat or anywhere like that because I haven't made my video yet, so I don't want it to invade my line of thinking. I'm kind of brainstorming live. All right, let me go back to my notes. Okay. So then after Alicent summons the dragon and wants to see the baby, Sarah comes in. Wait, who's Sarah comes in? Haha, Office reference. That's a deep cut. Just kidding. Laenor comes in. Talking about some, oh, did you just have a baby? I once took a lance in the shoulder. That's kind of the same. To defend him a little bit, it probably did hurt like crazy to take a lance through your shoulder. He's probably wearing armor, which means that like the lance had to be driven with enough force to pierce through that armor, then go into his shoulder. That probably hurt. If it actually happened, he probably would like have a fucked up arm, right? Maybe, I don't know. Just saying. I don't know. Then we have Alicent is all eyes on the strong baby, and basically does the line straight from the books. Laenor walks over to her, and Alicent's like, don't worry, keep trying. Maybe one day you'll get one that looks like you. That's pulled straight from the books. And when moments like that happen, erection fucking achieved, right? For me, at least, because like I'll be looking for those moments. We kind of got the if fish is served line last week, but not really, right? It was the goat, the roast goat type of deal with the conversation between Laenor and younger Rhaenyra on the beach, right? That wasn't the line, right? But basically, Mellos infamously says, when Laenor being gay is brought up, he's like, so what of it? I do not like fish, but when fish is served, he's like, basically says like, hey, but obviously Laenor not only doesn't like fish, he won't even give it a chance. Get it? Oh man. Um yeah. So I will say that Aemon is being bullied into who he is, which is kind of unexpected, right? So actually, no, the opposite of that. It's kind of very much expected because there's a reason why he's such a cunt in the books, or in the book, right? In Fire and Blood, and then also the other novella that go with it, right? But it makes more sense if not only is he sort of bullied by the Strongs, but also by his brother Aemon, right? The reason why is because when Aegon 2, I guess I'll say a spoiler, right? When Aegon 2 is gravely injured and Aemon wears the crown, right? He doesn't call himself the protector, but he still wears, he very much assumes the role of the king, right? He just doesn't take the name of it. When he does that, it kind of seems like the vibe I get from reading that is that he almost like he's waiting for the moment, because he immediately takes control of the battle, and then like of the war plans rather, and just sort of, if he was that close as it seemed to Aegon in the books, it just, I don't know. Something drives Aemon way more than Aegon. And when you break that down to like a human level, there has to be something there. Usually like children of people who are great have it easy, so their children usually aren't the greatest people, right? That's not always the case, but usually people who do great things, their kids, like it causes, you have to struggle to like make shit, right? You guys know what I'm saying. So usually when you're the son of the king, you kind of have it made, but there's a reason why Aemon is such a bully and does what he does in the books, right? So the show is making it seem like, because he gets bullied by pretty much everyone, right? So he's going to claim Vhagar, right? I thought that was going to happen. Well, no, I didn't actually think it was going to happen this episode. I thought that maybe we would at least get to see them arriving, like the idea of it being put, but it's definitely happening in the next episode. Doesn't matter, right? Let me stop getting sidetracked. I don't feel like Aemon's going to be more sympathetic than Aegon, which is funny because I thought Aegon was going to be the most sympathetic, because when you realize in Fire and Blood that Aegon is sort of pushed into it, like he literally says, like, not verbatim, but he basically says, yo, well, I don't want the crown. It's my sister's. Why would I wear the crown? And then his mom basically convinces him to. And we've seen a clip of Alicent doing that in one of the behind the scenes videos. She's got Aegon in front of her, and she's basically like sort of comforting him, and it looks very much like she's telling him to stop jerking off in the window. Why are you jerking off in the window, dude? Holy shit. Oh man, what the heck? That is so crazy. All right. Okay, so here's something. The Helena bug scene. She says Aemon will have to close an eye to get a dragon. She's a dreamer? Helena is a dreamer, right? So that's actually on canon. Kind of. They make it seem like Helena is a little bit, her description, right? She's not as comely as a normal Targaryen, a little bit heavier, right? They make it seem like she's always a little bit different. And now we know that she's a dreamer. She gets the dragon dreams. She has seen Aemon losing his eye in order to get a dragon. That's really cool. She also likes bugs. That's pretty cool too. I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to explore some creatures from Valyria, because she's obviously the king's daughter. She would have access to certain shit that the maesters have at the Citadel. So maybe she would have requested some of these baby fireworms in jars. Hint, hint. Season 2, maybe we'll see him in the background in her solar or in her bed chambers. I don't know. I thought it would be really cool. But anyway, yeah. So I wonder what else she can see. I wonder if she, well, obviously Rhaenyra doesn't get the dreams, right? I wonder if the dreams that she gets will warn her about blood and cheese. Speaking of which, the king saw a rat, so we're going to see him hire a rat catcher the next episode. And it kind of makes me think, like, is Blood and Cheese going to happen this season? Because they keep setting up for it. They showed literally Blood and Cheese at the end of episode 5, right? And then we see another rat in the Red Keep, and they're obviously going to have to hire a rat catcher. If they're going to bring the rat catcher in for Blood and Cheese this early, it makes me think, like, okay, we're going to see the Battle Above Storms, and are we going to also see Blood and Cheese happen too? Right? Let me explain that. Blood and Cheese, spoilers, right? If you're unaware, after Lucerys dies in the Battle Above Storms End by Aemon and Vhagar, Daemon is at Harrenhal, and he writes a letter to Rhaenyra, who's distraught. She obviously lost her son. She's like, what the heck? This is terrible. I'm in a really bad mood. But then she gets a letter from Daemon, right? And Daemon's like, an eye for an eye, a son for a son, right? She kind of doesn't know what that means, but she's going to find out. Daemon, through Mysaria, or Misery, the White Worm, hires a rat catcher named Cheese and this dude named Blood, who used to be a member of the Gold Cloaks, but he was kicked out of the Gold Cloaks for raping someone, right? So Blood and Cheese sneak in through the Red Keep's tunnels, and you're going to find out that the rat catcher kind of has to know the Red Keep's tunnels that Maegor built because, well, that's where the rats probably like to hide the most, is in those secret places. So the rat catcher needs to be able to get in there to lay the traps to catch the rats. So the rat catcher that we're probably going to see hired in the next episode, because, you know, the Red Keep obviously is a rat problem. Or maybe it could be early setting up for season 2. I don't know. I could be completely wrong here. But anyway, just want to talk about Blood and Cheese. So, basically, the two of them sneak in and they make their way to Helena's bedchambers. And she's in there with Helena's children. And let's see, there's Jaehaerys, they're twins, boy and a girl, and then also Maelor. Basically, they hold Helaena hostage and they're like, yo, choose. Which one of your kids do you want to die? Because, you know, Queen Rhaenyra just lost her son, King Aegon. The children that he has with Helaena, one of them has to die. So Blood and Cheese, really sick and twisted with it. They kick it up a notch and they're like, yo, which one of them do you want us to kill, lady? We're going to let you pick. We're kind of nice guys. We snuck in here. We inconvenienced you. It's the nighttime. Which one of these guys do you want us to kill, right? So obviously, I'm saying this like this is an easy choice, right? No. So unexpectedly, Helaena makes a choice, and she says, Maelor, right? We're led to believe that the reason why she chose Maelor in the books is because he's the youngest and maybe wouldn't know what was going on, right? So they're like, okay, that's the one you want to kill? We're going to kill Jaehaerys, and that's the king's heir. Jaehaerys is, in the green camp, the Prince of Dragonstone, which means he's the next in line for the Iron Throne. So Aegon loses his heir, and that's Blood and Cheese, and that's coming up. And they keep teasing it. So if that happens this season, and the Battle Above Storms End, oh my God, the internet will be broken for like 2 weeks. That's so crazy. I can't believe he was jacking off in the window. Dude, they should have showed somebody with a bucket, like some like Targaryen horror, like just she's like a super fan girl of the Targaryens. She just like wants to get pregnant. She's like, yes, he's at it again. That would have been, I don't know, probably wasn't funny. Was as funny as I thought. All right, let me look through my notes a little bit more, and then I'm going to jump in the chat. We've got 200 people watching right now. That's what's fucking up. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Please slap a like on this video. Like goal is going to be 420. Get it? All right, so yeah, let's talk about the lads fighting. Criston Cole, buddy, I no longer admire your sort of Prince Charming attitude when it comes towards Rhaenyra. You're a cunt, dude. But also it does make sense why he let Harwin beat him up like that, because he was letting him trap him. And you got to understand, Criston Cole is a badass dude in the books, and that doesn't happen because, excuse me, the damn soda. Harwin is known as Breakbones, but in the books, he gets his collarbone broken by Criston Cole and is known as Broken Bones. So that didn't happen on the TV show, but that's why he was able to get the better of Cole. Cole, that just shows you how much of a badass Cole is, because he just kind of took all those hits and didn't really affect him that much. I will say Harwin's armor is some of the most badass armor I've seen in A Song of Ice and Fire. He looked like fucking Batman, dude. He looked like Batman. Like, that's the Gold Cloak's uniform, right? But he looked like Batman in that bitch. That was dope. If I ever try to cosplay as somebody and I'm like taking it serious and I want to make my own costume, right? Which I've never done that before, right? But if I did, I'd try to look like Breakbones. Not just because he fucks the dragon. Everybody wants to fuck the dragon. But no, he looks like Batman. He looks like a medieval Batman. That is such badass. I hope there is some, like, I'm not really that big of a fan of cosplay, but I hope there's somebody that does that justice and makes it look like full on, just puts a Batman helmet on him, but just keeps it Gold Cloak City Watch attire on it. That'd be really cool. Gotta keep my Hand of the King pin in the frame. Oh yeah, please subscribe. Yes. Not that I forgot about it, but it is a good point. 36 minutes into videos. Please subscribe. We're really close to hitting 100,000. Again, I've already hit 100,000 here on YouTube. This is my silver play button right here. And the reason why I'm showing that is not to show it off, but to show you that I'm not saying it like, oh, I just want to hit that big milestone. Already hit that milestone. If I hit 100,000 again, it'll just help me defeat the shadow band, which I've mentioned a bunch of times now. So I don't want to, yeah. Agreed. Alicent was already annoying me. Now I straight up hate her. I wouldn't say I straight up hate her, but it is amazing how much in one episode Olivia Cooke was able to turn the character into like page number 1. If I was in middle school and writing a list of my best friends, Alicent would be in my top 5. Or if I was on MySpace in my top 5 friends, Alicent would be in my top 5 until I saw her in this episode. And then she'd be like, Alicent, who? What? Yeah, it's so funny. And now that I've had some time to think about it, the reason why they wrote it in that she can talk to the king that way is because that adds into like why we're not supposed to like her. It's like she's not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to, not that like she's a woman and she should be quiet. No. The king, he's the king. It doesn't matter who you are. If it was Rhaenyra and she was the queen, you shouldn't talk to. You can't just do that, right? But she did it. And it's like, well, the king's like half dead at this point, has no hair, and he's literally just on death's door. He just doesn't give a shit. He's just trying to get drunk and watch the lads fight in the yard. This is the stuff. This is how we do it, Lionel. We get them close and they beat up on each other, and then they'll grow up close together. That's also a line from the books too. Yeah. That's so crazy. Yes, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Alicent is the one spreading rumors. Here's the thing, though. I'll explain this again. I think this is a really good point, and I'll elaborate more so in my breakdown video. Alicent is forced to do her duty, so why is Rhaenyra any different? Is how she sees it, right? So Alicent, we saw in episode 4, directed by Claire Kilner, right? We see that she has to wake up in the middle of the night to go fuck this dude, and she really doesn't want to, right? She doesn't want to have to do that. Rhaenyra, on the other hand, while Alicent was doing that, and that's why it is shown this way on the TV show, while Alicent is doing something that she's forced to do, if she doesn't do it, I mean, come on, she probably would be sent away. She'd be shunned, and ultimately it would somehow be treason for not giving the king some pussy, right? Rhaenyra, on the other hand, kind of just is like, fuck that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to the Street of Silk and go fuck my uncle. Because why not? You know what I'm saying? So that's Alicent's point. Why do I have to do this if you can go do that? Right? And then she even makes a point. She says to Viserys, look, you worked so hard on making this match for her. It's a really good match. And she still can't even do that. You know what? I kind of agree with Alicent there. Rhaenyra, the least you could have done is fuck someone with the same color hair as you, because then there would be no question. There would be no question. Aegon would totally watch you. It would totally do it. Aegon would jack off, and you wouldn't even have to, you just lay under the window outside. Like Targaryens were fucking in front of everybody on the Street of Silk. This should be nothing. Stand at the bottom of the window. Do like Pop that shit open from the, you know what I'm talking about. Come on. Oh, man, I've probably lost like 15 people watching. Seriously, Aegon doesn't give a shit. Jacking off in the window. Oh, shit, we got a super sticker. Thank you. Oh, man, that dude is nuts. Let me see if there's any super chats that I did miss, because they don't stick. The super stickers stay for a while, but the super chats do not. They disappear. Let me, hang on, pull up the YouTube chat real quick. All right. I don't think I missed any. Did I? Mods, can you tell me if I missed any? Please. Please. This is from the Bio Explorer. She says, you're right. She feels that way, but she shouldn't feel that way if she was Rhaenyra's friend. Right. You want, but ultimately, like, she had to make at least one heir of, like, that. You have to understand how important it is to look like a Targaryen in the books, right? That's the one thing she had to do. She didn't do that. One thing she didn't do it. I don't know. Now that this is why it's good to have these live streams, because I kind of like switch my sides a little bit just through my own thinking of like, maybe Alicent isn't such a bad guy. She's kind of right. I understand like that. She has to fuck this dude who's missing an arm with no hair, and she's gonna do it again because Daeron hasn't been born yet, or if he is, he's really small. We haven't seen him yet, right? Why can't you? Like, they don't even attempt. Like, the marriage was never consummated. I don't know. Stained glass window. No, it's the King's Landing. That's how King's Landing got its name. Aegon kept jacking off in the window. And like, all right, I guess we got to call this place King's Landing. He keeps dropping kings out of the window, and they keep landing on my fucking cart and landing on my fucking head. King's Landing. Also, Tommen jumps out a window. King's Landing. Ha ha ha. The jokes will never end. He's a window jacker. You mad at me because you can't jack off on the city? Baby, use a window jacker. You like that? Hashtag window jacker. You mad at me? Can't jack off on the city? Yeah, use a window jacker. That's Window Shopper. 50 Cent. Y'all know it. Oh, man. Come on. That was genius. Shout out to Hunter in the chat. Whoever the fuck that is, buddy. We just made a song together. Flows like, let it flow like water. Oh, baby, use a window jacker. You mad at me? Use a window whacker. Baby, use a window jacker. I'm doing what Harry, the dude I follow on here does. The guy, let me show everybody who I'm talking about. The dude I follow, Harry Mack. He basically just picks, like, he'll pick shit in his live chat and just freestyle. But yeah, that was pretty good. Baby, use a window whacker. I love how oh yeah, what's up with I'm gonna answer this question in a second from Jess Loves Disney, but what's up with the way they say Jacaerys? That's an interesting way to say it, and it's spelled just like Jacaerys, so it makes sense to say it like Jacaerys, but when you read the books, maybe no, I never said it like that. I never said it like that. I've always said it like how they say it in the audiobooks, how the narrator says it, which is Jacaerys. I like the way that's pronounced, actually. I'm not going to lie. Jacaerys. Jacaerys. I mean, it depends. There's probably different ways to say it, right? I love how Jace asks if Harwin is his father. Even the kids knew. Yeah, they have to. They have to look at him and be like, dude, we look way more like you than we do, well, like even our mom. So yeah, that's confirmed. The show confirmed that they are 100% strong lads. She wants her son on the throne. Yes, but also like, okay, maybe, but also she called him out for jacking off in the window. She said, stop jacking off in the window. So maybe she knows he's not the best king. It's a bitter jealousy turned rivalry. You see how they talk shit to each other in the small council meetings. There's only so much of that you can take before you just hate the person. Like, they're forced closeness is what makes them hate each other. And like, yeah, she wants her son on the throne, but like, that's not her only motivation. It's not her only motivation. In my opinion, obviously. They're both so maybe. I stopped watching The Boys after halfway through season 2 when they were afraid to make Stormfront as racist as she actually is in the comics. So I couldn't. It just Homelander. I remember him drinking titty milk and jacking off. Right? Like, doesn't he do that? Does he do that in the window? In one of the newer songs? No, he wrote a song. I'm not even gonna laugh at that. That's messed up. I'm not even gonna max it. That you have a sick sense of humor, Wex. Eric Clapton's son fell from the window. That's not funny. Who would you cast for Cregan Stark next season? I don't know. Like, I mean, someone commented on my video earlier, and I thought it would be really funny, so I tweeted it, right? And that's that Henry Cavill was supposed to be in tonight's episode playing Aegon the Conqueror. I would make him Cregan Stark. He'd be a really good Cregan Stark. I don't know. That's going to be a hard casting because Cregan is the fucking man in this story. He's going to be probably more popular than, dare I say it, Jon Snow. Just kidding, John. Hurry up and get some announcements with that show, Kit Harington. We know Emilia Clarke's coming back. Give her all the monies. HBO, if you're watching, give her all the monies. Give her $50 million as a signing bonus, and then give her $20 million per episode. There's no fucking way she wouldn't do whatever movie y'all want her to do if you gave her that much money. That's like $100 million. You can ride a lot of dragons with $100 million. Baby, use a window jacker. You mad at me? Because you can't jack off on the city. Baby, use a window jack. That is so funny. Man. All right. I got a question for the chat. Do you think Alicent is going to be as horrified with the next thing that Larys does? So, potentially, now that we know Larys, well, now that we don't know Larys' motivations, but he may be involved with the poisoning of Viserys to hurry him along the way, right? So he cleared the way for Sir Otto to, become Hand of the King again, right? Larys could just be an agent of chaos. He could just be like, chaos is a ladder. It's a pit, Chandler. Like, he could just be Littlefinger. He could just literally just be trying to fuck shit up. Like, we all thought, well, I didn't think that, but they kept trying to convince us that Daemon is an agent of chaos. Every interview that Matt Smith did for the House of the Dragon, he's like, Daemon just kind of wants to do whatever the hell he feels like it, right? That's not the case. He kind of is like suffering from the Targaryen princeness. And then also it's kind of bullshit that the king won't name him his heir. So it's like, he's going through some shit. But also he settles down and he becomes somewhat of a dad, right? He's reading his books. He's like, yeah, Laena, you're crazy. This would be cool if we did stay over here. We have a manse and woods and all this stuff. And she's like, they want our dragons. And he's like, yeah, all right, you crazy. Go back to bed. I'm going to read my book, right? So you see Daemon is very multifaceted. I don't know. Larys is the true agent of chaos. How are you just going to kill your dad and your brother like that? That's nuts. All right. Who would I cast as Cregan Stark for next season? Let me answer that. I mean, Henry Cavill if he's available, right? But he's obviously not. So it's probably going to be an unknown English actor because it has to be someone unknown because, like I said, that role as Cregan Stark is pretty crucial. Now, if you want to argue, well, no, it's already too late to bring in the Bernard storyline because that would have to be younger. They would have had to already had some sort of flashback up to Winterfell to set that storyline up, but they didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now. I could probably search English actors and pick a few from that, but I'll say that for another video. Maybe after this season ends and we find out where exactly in the storyline they're going to be ending season 1, whether it be Blood and Cheese or the dance over Shipbreaker Bay, right? Or somewhere like in between, so we start to see the effects of Blood and Cheese happening, right? Then I could probably start doing like my fan castings for characters that we know are gonna show up in season 2. Do y'all want to hear me sing? Sir Hunts, why does every one of Damon's wives meet their end near a large animal? Ray should have known. That's true. But you should know this. Pretty little girls fall off of horses and break their necks all the time in Westeros. Yeah, I don't know if she will ever find out that Daemon actually killed. Like, I don't think Daemon's going to go around bragging, right? Be like, hey, I killed my ex-wife. You know what I mean? I don't know. I would say that the way that Rhaenyra dies, he honestly has nothing to do with. The way he goes out, he's trying to prevent her being eaten. So yeah. Why did Viserys let Alicent keep wearing green and the kids too? Dude needs to put his foot down. Oh, I mean, he can't. This dude can't even like control what she says and how she talks to him in front of his his Kingsguard in like his court. He's not going to be able to tell his kids to really do anything. I think it is pretty crazy that no one else is like, why are you so sick all the time? Right? Like, if anything, I guess it's because his kids are so young. I'm thinking like Aegon and Aemon don't really show any motivation for the throne. It's because they obviously know Rhaenyra is going to take it, and they're still kids. And like, Alicent very much puts that idea in Aegon's head. I don't know. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Viserys actually dies. Like, what is going to be because it's going to be unexpected, at least on my end. And this is the last episode that I think all of the critics were sent that got the early episodes. This was the last one they were sent early. So these next 4 episodes are going to be nuts because I don't think really no one knows what's going to happen. I think there's some way for people to view the episode early on Sunday, which if HBO does that to people, I would love to know how, because that would save me so much time and energy. If I could watch the episode and make my breakdown before I do this live stream, I work my fucking ass off on these videos. So that would be incredible if someone watching this knew how to do that, like how to get in contact. Maybe I could ask Claire how that, maybe I'll ask her. It took me like a week to work up the balls to ask her to come on my podcast. So we'll see how long it takes me to ask her how long the season 1 will be off by the time I ask her. Hey, just curious, how? No, I'm just kidding. Probably won't ask her that. I'll probably just, do like everybody else. Is this season 8 episode or 10? 10, baby! 10. I think every season of this show will likely have 10 episodes, unless it's like a final season situation where they feel like they want to give us a little bit of the Hour of the Wolf into Aegon, the Regency of Aegon III. And then they can make a shorter season with like 4 or 5 episodes to wrap it all up. But mostly, the majority of this show will have 10 episode seasons. The only reason why the later seasons of Game of Thrones had, season 7 had 7 episodes, season 8 had 6 episodes, was because Dan and Dave were like, dude, we've been doing this for 10 years and we want to move on. So that's why they shortened it. But HBO and George R. Martin and literally everybody and their fucking mama, I just said this in my video the other day, wanted 10 seasons at least. George wanted like 13 seasons or something. Larry seems like he has always been jealous of his brother because he was so strong. Yeah, maybe the jealousy, like with the Clegane brothers, right? So kind of in the TV show, I can't remember how it happened in the TV show, but basically Sandor gets his face pushed into a brazier by his brother, the Mountain, because Gregor, right? Because Gregor finds Sandor playing with his toy. That's why Sandor hates Gregor. He burned half of his face off, scarred him for the rest of his life. That's why he hates his brother. Larys doesn't really have any reason to hate Harwin because Harwin is fucking Batman. Harwin's a stand-up guy. Unless he hobbled him and gave him that club foot, which probably is not the case. He's just an agent of chaos. Maybe, like, neither one, his father or his dad, seemed like a bad guy. And if they were bad guys, it should have been hinted at. You know? I don't know. I don't think that's not enough motivation, in my opinion, Lisa, to have him murder and brutally murder his father and son. Oh shit, we got a super chat. We got a super chat from Austin Malinowski. Thank you for that, Austin. And they said Alicent been raw dog. Can I pin that? Why can't I show that on the screen thing? There we go. Alicent, thank you for that super chat. Alicent been raw dogging a dude with full-blown leprosy for years and is apparently totally fine. Yeah, but if she wasn't, who do you think made all those kids? Damon? Nope. But yeah, like, it is suspect in the sense that he's being poisoned by the Maesters. It's totally what's happening. It's the only thing that makes sense. Like, if it was leprosy, like Petty Constantine said, everybody would have it, right? Everybody around him would have it. His kids would have it. All of them. They'd all be dropping body parts. I don't know if his entire arm is gone or if it's just, like, his hand. Because it looked like his sleeve had a bit of a limb in it, maybe, when he went to try to hold the baby, because he had the ability to kind of hold the baby with one arm, but he had, like, something there. So he hasn't completely lost it yet. What ends up happening in the books with his hand is he's got gout, tightness of chest, and like he gets like blurry vision and stuff. He's basically getting like mini strokes and heart attacks. He's fat and overweight. That's what happens in the books. In the TV show, he's clearly being poisoned. What happens with his hand though is so this dude Vaemon Velaryon, the guy that we saw in the Battle of the Stepstones, is running his fucking mouth talking shit about Rhaenyra's heirs being bastards. So she dispatches Daemon to go and cut the dude's head off and feed his carcass to Syrax. That happens. Then the rest of the Velaryon cousins that were with Vaemon after Vaemon dies go to the king, and they're like, dude, we should be the heirs to Driftmark. Rhaenyra's kids are bastards. And the king hears them out in what's called a stony silence. It's one of my favorite lines from the books. And he's like, okay, take all their tongues out. And then he takes all their tongues out. And he's like, I warned you. I'll hear no more of this. And like, he basically did the same thing to Alicent. So I don't even know how I went on that tangent. Yeah, he's definitely being poisoned, though. Sounds pretty contagious to me. Like, not necessarily no, it's contagious. If you have prolonged exposure to them, that sounds contagious. Maybe not very contagious, but everybody's around him. Does this look infected? Nice. Yes, indeed. You're not even supposed to touch armadillos because of that. You know, I actually seen that in one of the I follow this YouTube channel, Animal Logic, and they talked about that in one of their videos. So yeah, you're right. Just like, can't you get chlamydia from koalas? Or can the koalas not give it to you, but they have it? Obviously don't have sex with koalas. I just explained that. Did you miss that? So Harwin Broken Bones is when he's at a tourney and he fights Criston Cole. Criston Cole breaks his collarbone and he's known as Broken Bones after that. We didn't get to see that. We saw kind of the opposite of that. He broke Criston's face, but Criston allowed him to do that because, well, he made him fall into that trap. Juicy traps. We finally got to see Vhagar. Didn't disappoint. Hell yeah. Well, I need to rewatch the scenes with Vhagar, but there was like in the teaser for episode 6, we saw these like long strands of what I thought were hair. Are those hairs on Vhagar? Is that just part of Laena's saddle? I don't know. I need to rewatch that. Chaos is a ladder. I like Damon Daddy. I should make that my thing instead of Sir Hunt's Damon Daddy. New Jack City. It took me a second. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Nino Brown. And then like literally, no, he's jacking off on the city. That's a good one, dude. That's a really good one. she likes it. I mean, he really was butt ass naked. Was it? Was it from a moose? How is Aegon as king of the books? This is a good question. He's a bit of a cunt. Yeah, no. He full on is. You saw how he went from being friendly with the strong boys to immediately trying to beat up Jacaerys. You see how he like switches like that? It's kind of like how he is as a king, right? So, I mean, he doesn't really have a chance to rule, right? He takes part in one battle and then gets horrifically injured, right? By Rhaenys and her dragon. Rhaenys and her dragon. Spoilers. I'm gonna stop saying spoilers. I'm just gonna spit it the fuck out. This is really frustrating. Rhaenys dies in the process, but she horrifically injures Rhaenys and her dragon Meleys horrifically injure Sunfire. Sunfire's wing is nearly torn off, and Aegon has like crazy wounds where he's in a coma for like a year. Not a full-on coma, but he basically sleeps more than he's awake. He kind of, when that happens, he's put off on the back burner. And then Aemon is like, this is my time to shine. And then Aemon and Vhagar escape that battle that I'm talking about. I think it's the Battle of Tumbleton, where Rhaenys and Meleys die. So Aemon, takes control of the battle with Kristen Cole. Goes and does some shit with Alice Rivers, right? Has shadow babies in Harrenhal, and like Kristen Cole and him ultimately split up. That's where Kristen Cole dies, and then how Aemon dies. Aegon is ruling again at that point. He comes back from his his little hiatus of like chilling and sleeping a bunch. And he's actually he pulls a sneaky, right? Because Rhaenyra takes King's Landing, and while Aegon is sort of in there healing, he's shuddered away by Larys, the Clubfoot, who ends up poisoning him. But before that, he helps him, and he spirits him away to guess where? Dragonstone, because his logic is pretty smart in that Rhaenyra would never think to look for Aegon on Dragonstone, because why would anyone go to the place where Rhaenyra just came from when she takes King's Landing? So it's actually really a really smart move. So after Rhaenyra's forced to leave the city, she goes back to Dragonstone, and guess who's in there waiting for her? King Aegon. That's how King Aegon is as a king. That's the only way I can really answer that question. It's sad that Laenor wants to go away to war and run away when all he has to do is fuck Ray. Is it that hard, dude? Bring a guy. I don't bring. Is it better to live with these rumors? Gee. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, he don't like the women's. he, he he don't like the women's. Yo, I wish here. I'm gonna try to find that book. There's this video of this dude on stage at church, and he's like, "I'm not gay no more. I don't like the women's." Hang on, let me try to find that. I don't think I'll be able to play the. Yeah, this is it right here. This is basically what you're saying Laenor should do. Shit. There we go. Let me cut the audio on that. This guy has like conversion therapy and he goes up on stage and he's like, I'm not gay no more. I don't like the men's. I like the women's. This is basically what you're saying Laenor should do. This is like one of my favorite videos of all time to watch. This dude is on stage in front of like 500 people and he's just like, I'm not gay no more. I don't like the men's. Oh man. So yeah, I don't know. We got really sidetracked there. Yeah, I don't think it's that quite simple, but yeah. That's one way of putting it. What's up with the bee sigil? That's what I've been saying. Is it a bee? Is it a beetle? Is it eating honey? Is it a cockroach? That's what I honestly thought at first. I was like, is that a cockroach with a diamond in its butt? But it's not. It's either a beetle or some sort of a bee. It's a winged bug, right? It could be a fly. That's what it is. It's a fly. It's a fly on the fucking wall. Ah, gotcha. It's a fly on the wall, and the thing is a honeypot. He's attracting people with a honeypot, and it's a fly, and they're all like, because you can't do the bee thing because there's lime and beesberry. It has to be a fly. Oh, all right. I got to get started working on this video. This is an hour and 6 minutes in this live stream. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to be up all night if I don't end it right now. So thank you for watching my breakdown, including information like that I just figured this out. It's a goddamn fly on a honeypot. It could still be a bee. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. But either way, I want to get started on this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please, if you could slap a like on this video, there's 200 people watching right now. So please, like goal is going to be 211. Also leave a comment down below. Consider joining my Patreon. I drop content there. I don't even want to set a limit to it. It's just going to be exclusive shit there that is only going to be uploaded there. So consider checking it out. You can join it for as little as $1. Also, leave me a comment down below if you're watching this now or afterwards. Just it helps me defeat YouTube delisting my channel. Also consider subscribing. Along that and Zeldrizas Buzdari Hixos Daor. I didn't mean to burp into the mic again. That's like the 5th time I did that. Excuse me. Along that.